So I went to visit my brother up in North Carolina for his son's first birthday, and I think you're going to find this story kind of insane because we're sitting there talking, and my brother is a soccer coach. So we're sitting there talking about this, and he just became 1 year old. And I said, hey, do you have like some sort of plan for him? Like obviously you got him watching games, and he's been around the sport, going to your games as you coach, but he's one, in 3, 4, 5 years, you're going to be putting him with a coach and a team, and where are you kind of at with this? And he said he doesn't know. He's like, I don't know. My name is Kyle Wilson, Kyle C. Wilson. I've even been called the Angry Soccer Guy. I have worked with children as young as 2 years old, all the way to professional players over my current 10-year youth soccer career. And the professional players that I've worked with are Louis Nani from Manchester United, Benji Michel, Dom Dwyer, Teshuak Adeli, Ruan Sixela, Santiago Patino, and many others that have played the game at the MLS level and higher. And I've even trained the generational talent, Kawan Bazil, who is arguably the biggest talent coming out of Brazilian football right now, which gives me a lot of knowledge and information to share with people, and that's what I'm doing here. And he said he doesn't know. He's like, I don't know. Like straight up, he's like, I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. And I'm like, you got some time, but you don't really have a lot of time. Then it got me thinking, okay, I live in Central Florida. I live in Orlando specifically. I don't have kids yet, but if I did have a kid, where would I put them? And so I'm doing a list with my wife. I'm sitting there, we're talking about it because I don't want to be my son's only coach. I don't. I want to be able to put him with preferably a program that I feel could help develop him as a person, as a student, and as an athlete, right? To really take care of the, everybody uses that buzzword, holistic development. And it's been missed out a lot. So I feel like this is the opportunity here. And I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, there's a decent couple of trainers here and there. And then it's actually interesting. I asked 2 parents that are a part of our Beast program, and I said, give me a count of the number of coaches you think are actually good in Orlando. One parent said 3, one parent said 4, and they're like, you have 2 here. So we had 2 coaches on our staff that they considered good. Both of them said the same thing. So one said 3, one said 4. Well, if 2 are in my program, the other 1 or other 2 are outside, that's not a good thing. And so like I asked them, like, okay, considering that you would, maybe want to put your child, because there might be a coach that you think is good, but maybe the way that they behave, the way that they act, the way that they treat people is not good. So we're looking for that complete thing. And I'm sitting there going, okay, you guys think 3 and you think 4. That's not good. And so that got me thinking like, where am I going to put my future kid? We're not going here. We're not going to these places. So I was like, I really got to make sure that I build the residency model to be the point where I can develop everything. So the human development, the person development, the student development, and the athlete development. They all tie together. I think it's fundamentally important that it ties together because we're not just talking about a youth soccer career. We're talking about life. We're talking about being prepared for life. And that's with being a good person, getting a good education, and getting the most out of your football development. But if I don't want to be the only coach, then there's got to be more options in this marketplace. That's where it became very complicated because we're like, there's not a fit. So we're checking off stuff. We're like, this is not a good fit. This is not a good fit. This is not a good fit for X, Y, or Z reason. And me personally, I've always recommended find a coach. That is a great in theory point. The challenge with only finding a coach, however, is what if that guy decides to move and they go to a different state, different county, different country? And then on the flip side of that, like, I'm a good coach. However, I'm very good at specific things. So like, for example, physical training is not my thing. Speed agility training, not my thing. So that's where the program aspect comes into play of, can we manage how they train? So from a technical standpoint, a tactical standpoint, a physical standpoint, a speed agility, all of it. Can we control all of those environments? And so that's where I think a complete program comes in. And then what happens with that is there's no excuse. The child, the student athlete, has everything necessary to be successful. And if they're not successful, it's literally on them. It's their choice. They choose to do it or not. And that's the type of program that I would want my son to be in, or daughter to be in if they want to play football, is a program that holds them to a standard of being the best person they can be, the best student they can be, and the best athlete. Because I think they all tie together when we're talking about children development. Ironically, my brother was like, oh, maybe I'll send him to you in residency. I was like, well, I want him to be with mom and dad. Unless you're going to move here, then great. But if you're not, then, I think it's better that you guys figure out a place to put him. But he's like, bro, there's not a lot of options here. So if there's not a lot of options there, can you imagine other parts of the country? Because that's another part of the country that is opposite of me. And so this is a thing that I'm seeing across the country, is that there might be, 1, 2, 3 individually good coaches, but we're missing that complete package piece that is critical to get players to the next level. And that's where I think a program like Beast, which is what we're creating, what I'm creating, comes into effect.